This is Geometry Unit 1 quiz review. So this is quiz number 2 review. We're going to name the angles in multiple ways. We can name this angle with one letter because there's only one angle happening, only two rays coming off that vertex. We can name it with one number. That's not a degree number, that is naming the angle. We can name it with three letters. The vertex has to be the middle letter. So let's try that again. For number 2, we can name it with one letter because there's only two rays coming off of it. One letter's okay. We can name it with one number. And we can name it with three letters. Those letters should be capitalized. The vertex has to be the middle letter. Notice that we never name it with just two letters. Okay, same idea. Letter I could work. Or angle I, sorry. Angle 3. Angle HIJ. Or angle JIH. Those are the different ways that you can name those angles. In some situations, one letter doesn't work. If you had another ray coming out here, then it wouldn't work. You couldn't use one letter to name it, because you wouldn't know which angle was actually angle I. We're going to draw and label an angle to fit this description. It's an obtuse angle. That means it's an angle over 90 degrees, and it's named angle Y. So that's all you need to do. We're going to do an acute angle, and it's JIH. A right angle, that means it forms a right angle, which is a 90-degree angle. It has a box in the corner. The vertex has to be the middle letter, so that's the D. And the other letters of the name are on the rays. We're going to classify each angle. If there was an angle that was 90 degrees, we'd call that a right angle. If there was an angle at 64 degrees, we'd call that an acute angle. An angle at 112 degrees, that would be an obtuse angle. 180 is a straight angle. And 142 degrees is obtuse. Obtuse are angles greater than 90 but less than 180. Acute are less than 90. And a right angle is exactly 90. Straight angles are exactly 180. We're going to find the measure of each one listed here. So notice that the angle is here. It has the curve telling us exactly what we're looking at. So looking at the side of the angle, it starts with 0 and it works its way up to 50 degrees. So that's how we know we're using this side. We're looking at a small angle. The answer is not 130, but it's 50. In this case, we're going from way over here, up and around, so an obtuse angle. Notice that the side of the angle is at 0, so then it counts up 40, 50, 60, 70, goes up to 90, 120, 150, all the way to 165 degrees. Number 13, we're looking at the angle that comes over, curves up and around, and goes straight up. So of course, that's 90 degrees. So if you're 90 degrees, you are a right angle. Coming on back, if you're 165 degrees, you're an obtuse angle. 50 degrees would be an acute angle. Looking here, we're looking for the measurement of ZXY. ZXY. Well, that's going from 0 and that's going up, so that's 50 degrees. So number 14 would be 50 degrees. ZXV comes all the way over. So from the 0, which would be here, you would count the numbers as they increase all the way to the 130 degrees. So angle ZXV, the measurement of angle ZXV, is 130 degrees. Angle WXZ, that's kind of a tricky one. Well, you could start here and say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 degrees. You could also take the 150, which is an angle that's measured from the 0, but you're not interested in this portion of it, so you say 100, actually 150, sorry, minus the 50. This 50 is what we're not interested in measuring if we're going the whole distance. So 150 minus 50 still gives us that 100 number. So angle WXZ is 100 degrees. And then YXV, it's a straight line, so we call that a straight angle. So we had 50 degrees. The measure of angle ZXY equals 50 degrees. That would be an acute angle. ZXV, we talked about how that was 130 degrees. So that makes it an obtuse angle. WXZ, that's probably a tricky one. That's going to be 150 minus 50, which is 100, which of course is obtuse. And then angle YXV, the measurement of angle YXV equals 180 degrees. We call that a straight angle. On the back side, we're looking at PT, and PT is an angle bisector of angle RPS. So if it's an angle bisector, we know both of these angles are the same. So if this is 37, we know this guy's 37. Find the two angle measures not given in the diagram. Well, that one's given. So the measurement of angle TPS equals 37 because the two angles are congruent, so they're equal in measure. And the measurement of angle RPS equals 37 times 2, which is 74. And those are degrees. 48, so we know this is 48. These would have to be the same. So the measurement of angle RPT equals 48 degrees, because it's the same as the angle it's next to, called the adjacent angle. They're, with an angle bisector, they are congruent. And the measurement of angle RPS equals 2 times 48, which is 96 degrees. So it looks like they're saying that 75 degrees is all the way down. Is the whole interior angle. That's the 75. Well, if RPS is 75, then the measurement of angle RPT equals half of 75, which that is 37.5. And the measurement of angle TPS is also half of 75, so that's 37.5 as well. And those are degrees. Here we're saying that BT, ray BT, bisects the angle ABC. Find the value of X and the measure of angle ABC. So remember, we've talked about if you have an angle bisector, then your two angles equal each other. And we subtract 3x. We add 17. So we divide by 2. So we get 15.5 degrees. So we're going to say that 3 times 15.5 plus the 14, that's the measurement of TBC. So we get 45 and 1.5, so that's 46.5. So that's 60.5 degrees. That's the value of our angle TBC, which is also the measurement of ABT. The angle all the way around, the measurement of angle ABC equals 2 times 60.5, so 121. And those are degrees. Here we have an angle bisector. So when you have an angle bisector, your two smaller angles are equal to each other. So we got 50. So X equals, 6 is going to go into there 7 times, which is 42. Actually 8 times, which is 48. And 2/6 left over, so that's 1/3. So we could call that 8.333, but even better, 8 1/3. So if we say 3 times 8 1/3 plus 36, that's going to be 24 plus another full one, which is 25. 61 degrees. That's the measurement of angle CBT. And then the measurement of angle ABC is 2 times 61, which is 122. For our next one, we know that 6x equals 5x plus 10. Looks like a plus there. So we subtract the 5x. That gets us x equals 10. So if x equals 10, then the measurement of ABD equals 6 times 10, which is 60 degrees. And the measurement of angle ABC would have to be 2 times 60, which is 120 degrees. Here, we don't know if we have an angle bisector. Nothing in the given information says that. So, we look at HGF. That's the full angle. The full part is 16x plus 4. EGF is 110. HGE is 3x plus 11. Find the value of x. Well, we have the measurement of angle HGE plus the measurement of angle EGF, and that equals the whole thing of HGF. So that's 3x plus 11 and 110 to equal 16x plus 4. So I subtract over my x to get 13x. Here this adds together to be 121. We subtract the 4, and that's 117. Divide by x, and that is 9. On this side, we see that VUT, the whole thing, is almost 180, but not quite. Almost looks like a straight angle. They're saying that that's 175. VUJ is 17x minus 3, and JUT is 17x plus 8. So we have the measurement of angle VUT to equal the measurement of angle VUJ plus the measurement of angle JUT. So we have 175 plus 17x minus 3 plus 17x plus 8. Well, these two put together equals 34x. These two put together equals 5 minus the 5 divided by the 34. Which is 5. Then our last question, we know that GFN is 4x plus 10. Angle NFE is 14x plus 3. And GFE is 157. So the measurement of angle EFN plus the measurement of angle NFG equals the measurement of angle EFG. So we get 14x plus 3, we get 4x plus 10, and that equals 157. So we group our like terms together to get 18x, and our like terms together to get 13. Divide by, well, sorry, can't divide yet, my bad. We need to subtract the 13 first. So we get 18x equals 144. And with that, we're going to get 8. X equals 8. Now notice carefully that they've asked us to look for the measurement of angle NFE, and NFE was 14x plus 3. So we're going to say 14 times 8 plus 3. So we get 112 plus 3, which is 115 degrees. Good luck on your quiz.